guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Dumebi and you're just in time for another interesting movie review. A Quiet Place Day 1. This movie, as the name implies, was very quiet. Quiet in the sense that it had very little dialogue. It is in movies like this that we appreciate good acting because now the characters will have to communicate certain emotions without necessarily uttering a word. We all know that when it comes to expressions, Lupita Nyong'o always delivers. She played the role of Sam, a pessimistic cancer patient. Joseph Quinn, who played the role of Eric, also put up an amazing performance, but there wasn't much build-up about this character for us to really care about him so much. Like, one moment he's coming out of the subway, and the next moment he's one of the main actors in the movie. Like, hold up, who are you, sir? But we also had other amazing supporting actors, like Alex Wolff, who played the role of Ruben, Sam's nurse, Jimon Hansu as Henry, and of course, the cat. Oh my god, give that cat some accolades. It was one of the best actors in my opinion. Now, of course, the cat did not know it was on a movie set as an actor. It was just doing its thing, but you could tell it didn't give the directors so much trouble. I also heard that Lupita, prior to this movie, did not like cats at all. She said she had to go through cat therapy and all, just so she can be comfortable carrying the cat about. Now that's what I call being intentional about your career. I would also like to commend the director of this film, Michael Cernowski. Great directing. Also, great cinematography and editing. Whoever was in charge of that, receive your flowers. This movie was about how people survive or die in New York as weird creatures invade the city to terminate anyone that makes a sound. And we've come to understand that A Quiet Place Day 1 is a prequel to the previous A Quiet Place 1 and 2. So this is the actual beginning of the first two parts of the movie. The movie is centered around a terminally ill cancer patient who would do anything for a slice of pizza. She goes by the name Sam, lives at a hospice outside New York City with her cat Frodo. Ruben, a nurse, tries to convince a reluctant Sam to join a group outing to a puppet show in the city. She agrees, only on the condition that they will get pizza on their way back. While in the city, after the show, Ruben got an instruction to bring everyone back immediately. But there was a little back and forth between him and Sam because, that would imply that he would not be able to keep his promise of getting her the pizza. Anyway, just when they were about to enter the bus, the group notices meteor-like objects falling from the sky. And shortly afterwards, strange creatures start attacking the gathered crowd and anyone who makes a sound. One creature hits a noisy ambulance, and the explosion knocks Sam unconscious. Now, Sam later wakes up inside the puppet theater with Frodo, her cat, and other survivors, including Henry, a family guy who she encountered earlier in the theater. He covers her mouth tightly and signals her to remain quiet. Announcements from U.S. military helicopters warn civilians to stay silent and hidden until the authorities can rescue them. Sam then witnesses fighter jets bombing and destroying the bridges leading out of Manhattan, which is the city they were in, preventing these creatures from leaving the island. One of the survivors begins to panic, and Harry accidentally kills him in the process of trying to keep him silent. The power grid then cuts out that night, causing the building's emergency generator to noisily activate. Sam follows Ruben as he rushes to turn it off. He succeeded, but as he was about leaving, a sharp object caught his shirt, and the sound of the shirt ripping attracts one creature, and it killed him. Now, Sam is distraught and takes Frodo and leaves for Harlem. Now, why does she leave? To get a slice of pizza. Moving on, The military then announces again that it is preparing to evacuate civilians by boat from the South Street seaport as the creatures are discovered to be unable to swim. Groups of people start leaving and walking towards the evacuation point, but we see Sam moving in the opposite direction because, well, a slice of pizza is the priority in her scale of preference. It's like the number one thing on her list. The number two thing can be, I don't know, her life. Anyway, the volume of the crowded movement alerts the creatures, who starts attacking them and causing a stampede. Sam finds a way to escape and is separated from Frodo. Now, Eric, an English law student, escapes a flooded subway station and encounters Frodo, following him back to Sam. Sam attempts to convince Eric to go south to the evacuation point, but Eric is confused and scared, and so he follows Sam back to her apartment instead. While there, Eric notices that Sam used to write poetry. So they have this little cute bonding moment. But the next morning, Sam leaves alone for Harlem. But surprisingly, we see Eric following her. Sam motions to Eric to go away and stop following her. But he acts dumb and keeps following her. In the process, Sam accidentally alerts the creatures, and they flee into a flooded subway. With no other way out, the pair is forced to wade through the deep waters. Now, Eric begins to panic, but Sam covers his mouth and motions to him to remain silent, like, shut the hell up, bro, you want to kill us? But somehow they let out a noise, waking up a dormant creature that pursues them, but it drowns while they escape. So they end up in a ruined church. And while Sam rests, Eric ventures out alone to get pain medication for her from a pharmacy. But Frodo wanders off into a construction site, and we see Eric trying to rescue Frodo, which in my opinion was dumb, because Frodo didn't need saving. With his quiet nature, he had a better chance of surviving. In fact, he pretty much was better off without them. But this is one of the scenes I appreciate, the suspense. My heart was literally in my throat. I kept saying, such dumbass, he's gonna die now, he's gonna die. But to my surprise, he rescues Frodo and comes out alive. Now back in the church, Sam tells Eric that as a child, she used to watch her late father play jazz at a club in Harlem. And then they would go get pizza afterwards, something Sam always wanted to do before she died. So Eric fulfills Sam's wish by taking her to the empty club. He performs a magic card trick for her. She's happy. He then collects pizza from another store, and from her expression, you can tell that she felt a sense of fulfillment. Now, Eric and Sam sight a boat in the river filled with survivors escaping Manhattan. Sam gives Eric her sweater and Frodo, and then runs off to distract these creatures by smashing car windows. And as a result, car alarms activate, which attracts the creatures away from the coastline. Meanwhile, Eric and Frodo jump into the water and are pulled up into a boat by Henry. Eric then finds a note in the jacket written by Sam, telling him to take care of Frodo and thanking him for reminding her to live. Now we see Sam walking into a deserted street, listening to Nina Simone's Feeling Good in her iPod, docked into a music player she found somewhere. Accepting her death, she smiles and she unplugs her earphones from the player and lets the music sound, causing a creature to suddenly appear behind her. And now this is where we, the audience, are left to draw our individual conclusion on if Sam was actually killed or not. Now, one of my issues in this movie is not being able to pinpoint the goal of these creatures. There are hints, of course, but nothing really solid as to what they're actually doing in our planet. Like, how did they even come? Like, are they actually eating us? Are they just killing us because, I don't know, they just don't like noise? Is it a way to source for food, you know? In as much as I enjoyed it, I wouldn't put this on the level of the first two, but it was a really beautiful piece of art. Now, this is my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it or not, do not hesitate to like and subscribe. Also, let me know what you think about the movie in the comments down below. Which of the 3 quiet places do you prefer? How would you rank them? Until next time, bye now.